Hi folks, welcome to MTS. Today have a little project from one of the members in our local train club. We were running a antique train run the other day, and he had brought this nice little beauty up. It's a Lionel 1656. This was manufactured between 1948 and 1949. And this is the bell ringer, right? So it has the 6403B tender, which works fine. However, the locomotive would only run in reverse, even after switching the E unit. Everything else is still going back and forth. So we're just going to do some service on this today, and go from there. Just doing a quick inspect. We'll probably go ahead and also replace the brushes in there. Those brushes look like they're pretty worn down, as you can see. And just clean it up. Go from there. Let's go ahead and hook it up, show you what we're talking about here as far as just going in the one direction, and we'll go from there. Have the CW80 fired up here, so we're just going to put gator clip on the positive and just find good ground. So we're not even getting any kind of activity out of it today. We'll go ahead and just remove the motor assembly here. Pretty simple. There's a screw in the back. Looks like that's a Phillips head, so we'll remove that. And then there's a screw. There's supposed to be two screws. There's only one here today, so remove that. And then we want to remove these two screws using a flathead screwdriver. There we go. I'm going to replace this wire. You can see it's very brittle, which is typical for these locomotives from the 1950s or late 1940s. And it looks like it just solders. Yeah, it just solders in right there. So we'll replace that wire. Go ahead and remove the steam chest here. And let me go get the soldering iron heated up. I'm going to remove that light bulb too, just so we can work on the motor assembly. Okay, soldering iron's heated up, and I was able to find a replacement piece of wire. So let's go ahead and zoom you in here. We're going to go to the back. Just unsolder this piece right here. There we go. All right, move that out of the way. And we're just going to take a note. This is coming out of the, if you're looking down the back of the cab, it's on the left side. So we're just going to make sure we run that wire back through that hole on the left side. But you can see that wire's really, really crunchy. Get over here. We'll go ahead and also remove this wire for the headlight, just so we can get that steam chest off of here. There we go. Okay, and then our brittle wire there, just runs right through next to that, and then runs back through. Pops right out. So yeah, that wire was really nasty. All right, get rid of that. Coating off of that. back through there. There we go. Wire cutters here. There we go. Good as new. Set that to the side. And next we'll start working on the E unit and we'll replace the brushes. Okay, so to remove the E unit, we're just going to remove this one flathead screw. Take a look and see what we have here. So the first thing I'm seeing, and I'm not sure if you guys are going to be able to see this or not, but there's actually a piece of metal that's actually on this end of the E unit. I think it's metal. Let's get the dental pick and see, because if that's metal, that's just shorting it out, and it looks like it's metal. Okay, so we're going to inspect the roller. I'm just going to rotate the roller here, see what we got. Looks like just maybe it needs a little bit of a cleaning. It looks like the teeth on the bottom are all connecting. And looking at the back teeth, yeah, they're all connecting as well. So I'm just going to say it's probably a dirty roller. We'll clean that up with just some electrical contact cleaner and a Q-tip. So you guys know my little trick here. We're going to stick a toothpick in the plunger there just to keep that out of the way. Here's my electrical contact cleaner. This is Deoxit D5. I picked this up off of Amazon. So I've sprayed down my Q-tip here. Yeah, you can see it's got a little bit of residue there. This is actually serving a couple of different purposes. So not only are we cleaning the roller itself, we're rotating the roller as I'm cleaning it, and that's cleaning those tabs as well. I'm just alternating side to side. There we go. We'll let that dry. Also going to inspect inside the chassis. A little dirty there. I'm going to actually go put some compressed air on that. I'll be right back. Okay, we're going to go ahead and reinstall the E unit. I'll put the screw back in there. There we go. And since we have access, we'll go ahead and replace these brushes. This is actually a different setup. So the spring is actually on the other side of here, so it's keeping tension on here. So in order to replace these brushes, we're going to remove this brush plate with these two flathead screws here. We'll lift the brush plate up. There we go. While we're in here, we're going to go ahead and pull this armature out. There we go. Again, we're going to use our electrical contact cleaner and our Q-tip. Just clean this plate a little bit here. Okay. Also going to do the same with where the brushes go into the contact here. I'm going to clean that chamber out as well. Just want to mind the springs when we're doing this. There we go. You can see the difference. Let me get this. So there's the after. You can see how nasty that looks on that side. So we'll run that through one more time. Do the same on this side. Yeah, it gets that carbon buildup. Yeah, looking much better. Okay. Go ahead and get to our replacement brushes. I'm going to use the 622121. And just do a quick side by side. You can see the difference. Those other ones were worn down pretty good. Alright, so we have our new brushes. I'm going to use some grease, period specific grease from around the same time frame. And we're just going to put a little grease on the armature shaft here. And we'll do the same when we apply the brush plate, but I want to get a little bit of grease on that before we install it, so we'll go ahead and get that back in place. There we go. Just want to make a couple turns, just make sure the wheels are turning. And next, this is going to be interesting. I'm just going to balance the brushes on the brush plate here. We'll put a little grease around the end of the brush or armature shaft. And then we're going to see if we can't reinstall this. First try. Yeah, right. All right. So got the new brushes in place. We'll line up the spring. There we go. You can see we've got the grease in place on the armature shaft there. So we'll go ahead and reinstall the screws. And we're just going to snug those up. Quick little test, make sure that everything's spinning like it's supposed to. Alright, now we'll hook it back up to the test transformer and see if we've got this thing taken care of. And before we hook it up, I'm going to go ahead and put a small little hobby oil on the gears here. The axles, a little hobby oil on there. Okay, now we'll hook it up. Let's see what we got. so it's still, now we've got back to the initial issue where it's just running in reverse. Oh, there it goes. So the plunger, oh, we gotta make sure that stays in place there. So there's neutral, reverse, neutral, forward. The plunger on the E unit is sticking. You know what? I may just put some WD-40 on there. So here we have WD-40. I'm just going to squirt just a little bit right in there on the top of the plunger, and just really sparingly. There we go. Then I'm going to move the plunger up and down here real quick. That seems to be helping it quite a bit. I'm actually moving. You can see there's the pin for the plunger right here. So when I move that up, it seems to be making a little bit more difference. I just used just a little bit of that WD-40. I didn't want to put too much in there. Oh yeah, much better. Really helped that situation. Okay, I think we got that back up and running. So next I'm going to, don't want to forget this piece. This actually fell out. It goes into the front here. And that just kind of, there's a couple grooves on the shell. You can see right here. That's where that pin will rest right there. Okay, but yeah, we'll go ahead and resolder the headlight, and then I'm going to run this back through. Remember, we said this is the left side, that left hole there, and then we'll reattach that to this plate that actually operates the bell. Bring it right back. Okay, we'll go ahead, got the soldering iron hot again. So we're going to reattach or resolder the light bulb, which I went ahead and tightened that light bulb. It was pretty loose. So let me zoom you in. There we go. I went ahead and put some flux on there as well. Okay, so that's in place. Next we'll put the side rods back into place. And then we're going to run our wire. Again, we're going through the left side of the shell. So let me feed that through. I'm going to resolder our replacement wire back into this end here. I'm going to put some fresh flux on there. There we go, nice and secure. Now we'll begin reassembly. Okay, so for reassembly, we want to make sure that our side rods are, all the hardware's in place. That includes this top rod. That there's a small hole in the steam chest at the very top where that goes into. So we want to make sure those are in place on both sides. Okay, Don't want to forget our pin. That pin just fell back out, so we'll slide that back in. I'm going to zoom you out. Okay, got you zoomed back out. Let's see if we can't get this back together. This is going to be interesting. Just making sure all of our hardware, our side rods are in place. We got to make sure that wire that we just installed stays out of the way. And our wire just came undone for the headlight. I got to go back and resolder that. We got to make sure that that light bulb is securely soldered here. See what I'm going to do? I'm going to wrap that around there. There we go. Little flux. That's not coming undone now. Okay, let's back you back out a little bit here. We're going to redo all of our side rods again. Let me see. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of finger roll those screws for the side rods. Just to kind of keep this all in place for a minute while we try to figure out how this gets put back together here. Into there, like so. Then we'll go again, just get this finger started. A couple turns just to keep that from falling out. Okay. So here we go. We've got that mechanism there's taken care of. This looks like it's secure. So we'll get our single screw that was in place. We'll just go ahead and put that right there. Find our Phillips head screwdriver. Secure that. We're gonna make sure we got all of our room on that. That our soldering connection in the coupler is still holding. Now we have to come back here. There we go. I don't think I'm lined up with this hole in the back for the chassis. So there it goes. I just felt it. Okay. Just kind of making that snug. Oh no. Both of those pins came out. Well, the good thing is I feel good, we've got the motor assembly in place. So let's just back out those finger screws. Again, we'll just finger tighten that back up. There we go. We'll do the same to the other side. There we go. We can go ahead and secure those. I want to. There we go. Got them on this side. We'll go ahead and secure this one. Wow. There's just something for these to be said for these post-war era, late 40s, early 50s locomotives. I mean, that's just spinning like it just came out of the box. Let's do one more bench test. Let me move this one. I'm going to move this one to the front roller pickup. And then I can ground it to the chassis. There. All right. Let's see what we got. Okay. That's great. Okay, back over here at the train layout. Went ahead and put on some post-war rolling stock. We'll go ahead and cycle through forward, neutral, and reverse. And then we'll run the train a little bit. Well, there you have it, folks. Not bad for a 75-plus year locomotive. To recap, we took apart the locomotive, inspected and cleaned the roller and the E-unit, applied some WD-40 to the plunger shaft, replaced the wire for the operating knuckle coupler, replaced the brushes, and cleaned the brush plate and greased the armature shaft. Put it all back together and having a successful test run. I'm sure the owner is going to be pleased with the repair, keeping these classic Lionel locomotives on the rails. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you down the line.